Mobile Twitter. I want the full site. Hmm.
And we're live! Hey everybody! This is @Doc Foreman. We are having technical difficulties. I know, you're surprised, but guess what? First of all, before we get started, do a big SPSM shout out to the 1st of May. It's right, it's May Day. We all know the song, right? 1st of May, 1st of May. SPSM starts today. And if you haven't yet, it's not too late to run outside, go get a small basket of flowers, and put them on your neighbor's doorstep. I only recently found out that I may be the only person who still does that. I'm @Doc Foreman, your friendly neighborhood psychologist, or at least one of them that's here tonight with SPSM. We are having a little technical difficulties getting our guest on, but we are going to be talking with Stacy, and this is like
Erriger, like the Tony the Tiger.
Showing us how to use Minicam, and we'll talk a little bit more in a minute about why I think that that is important for us to learn. This is a lot about getting the most social media bang for the content that you're going to be generating anyway. Mr. Tony Wood is our technology producer, and he is providing IT and tech support to Stacy right now, so he is on mute below. But let me bring up my intrepid co-host, Dr. Bart Andrews.
Hey, good evening. Yeah, we've had quite the pre-show. I've had some lighting challenges. We've got disappearing and reappearing guests. At one point, April was babbling, and we weren't sure who she was talking to. I wish Tony was here to comment on that because it was really quite charming. And then today is my son's birthday. Maxwell Thomas Andrews is 16 today. 16. I am the parent of a 16-year-old, which is has a driver's permit, but we have a rule here. One needs to be able to get oneself out of one's bed on one's own before one can be in charge of a vehicle on one's own, is what I'm saying.
There's a lot of ones.
That may be part of the problem. There could be a communication gap. I'm not sure he knows what I'm talking about when I say all this ones stuff. Yeah, he's got to be able to get himself up in the morning without it being a huge, this is really going on way too long. I'm really excited about the show. We're going to be learning about, I was in a total foreman, I don't even know, but it's good to see you, April, and I want to learn more about videoing.
So first of all, yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about Minicam, and we're going to get that started with Stacy, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what inspired tonight's show, which we would probably do anyway. So first of all, Tony and I were speaking in Orange County, and many of you caught us doing a live streaming video of a pre-show. This week. I think we had like 58 or so, whatever viewers on the Periscope. There were some sex trolls. They were fabulous. Let's just say that right now. But we were just sort of doing our little bit at the table. Some things for you to be aware of. I did not tweet much. I was horrendously sick all week and just did everything I could to be well for 2 different afternoons of presenting, which I did. And then we just did a little pre-show because Tony is funny. And it turns out that people enjoy watching you speak live about your presentations. People like your personality, and that is why we spend so much time with the video medium. So we did a little Periscope. If you don't know, we've been using Catch to archive Periscope, and those Catch Me videos are migrating to YouTube, which has been going on recently. And so things that you need to be aware of are that we're looking for other ways for people to be able to produce video content. We think, ultimately, video content and really good graphic content are going to be a lot of the content that you're going to be posting in your social media feeds. Now, that doesn't mean that there isn't a place for that PowerPoint slide with a lot of tiny writing in it. There are museums everywhere. What that does mean is that you're going to have to get good at layers of material so that you have things like a quick, 15, 30-second video that says what you'll be presenting on. You need to be able to have good live stream skills, some behind the scenes live stream skills. And the good news is that you're going to have produced slides, and we're going to be talking about that. I'm going to show you a set of slides that I did, and some of you caught my Minicam example video, but we think that you need to be able to use your slides to produce different kinds of things. So when I present, people ask for my slides all the time. I don't know, Bart, do they ask for yours?
When I present, do they ask for my slides?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time.
Do you give them?
I send PDF versions of my slides, but if people ask, yeah, I'll send them. But wouldn't it be so much nicer if they could just go to a website and get your slides?
Absolutely, which is why we've done things like the Prezi tutorial. My slides are always on Prezi or publicly available by a link. So people, if they go follow me on Facebook or if they ask, my slides can be posted on conference website. And additionally, what you can do if you want is you can also take those very same slides and you can narrate them for people, because most of my slides do not have the text. So my slides are not the text copy of my presentation. And for those of you who see me present like tonight, a lot of the presentation that I do is sort of spontaneous. And I think, I don't know, but I think part of the enjoyment is listening to some of the like Q&A and the give and take with your audience, questions that people ask, and also sometimes personality, like when Tony and I were riffing off each other. Did you see that morning?
We need to talk about that. We need to talk about that because one, I was actually getting a bulge in my tire fixed. It was a large bulge.
I'm so glad you said tire.
It needed it in my tire. There was a large bulge in my, and apparently it was a compression bulge in my tire, and apparently it's quite dangerous. So they had free Wi-Fi there at the tire place, and so I got to watch your and Tony's Periscope, where Tony, who looked fabulous. Tony, if you're listening, you look absolutely fabulous. Tony looked gorgeous in that video. I just wanted to hug him and kiss him. And you were on screen a little bit, but then off screen, and it was this amazing.
I was holding the camera on Tony. That's why it looked good.
He looked fantastic, and there was an amazing exchange between the two of you. And I want to be clear about this. You framed ripping open the windows in the hotel room and waking Tony up at 5 a.m. 8 hours before he needed to present as empathetic.
It wasn't entirely true.
Empathetic. You described that as empathetic. That you did that out of empathy.
Breakfast. Tony, who doesn't have protein, doesn't function. So we had to get dressed.
About Tony, we did discuss this. And there's this moment where Tony, who's so frightened of you, I mean we all are, but in this case the fear, he can't even directly challenge you about that not being empathetic. He says, "I'm not sure that's empathy," which turned into a beautiful meme, by the way. And his face was just gorgeous. And I think that for those of you who if you're yeah, it's not. It's not empathetic to wake somebody up at 5 o'clock.
Blood sugar was regulated.
His blood sugar needed to be regulated at 5 o'clock in the morning while he was sleeping.
No, we have to get up, get ready, and we have to get downstairs for the stuff that was in the morning, and that's
the stuff that was in the morning.
So, but people are going to like this behind the scenes streaming. We'll talk about Minicam. We look like we've got Stacy coming back up. She's on mute right now. I want to talk a little bit about while we do this. If you can. I hope that you have watched the YouTube of like the sample that I did using Minicam. Stacy's going to give me the hi sign hopefully on chat. She says camera's not working on her large computer. I don't know what that means. That's okay. It says 908. It means something.
Let me interpret. The camera not working on the large computer.
I will say we do check these, we do check-ins, we make sure it all works, but sometimes stuff happens. That's okay. I'm prepared to go ahead. That's also part of being the host of a show. So Stacy, if you figure out how to do a screen share or do some audio, let me know, because I would much rather someone who has more experience than me teaching it. But I basically want to show you what Minicam looks like. So Minicam, if you don't know, is an app that there are levels of it that are free, and there are levels of it that you can pay for. Stacy has an account that she subscribes to. There are some apps that I will pay for, like Prezi, because I want the extra storage to be able to present and store videos and have a large number of presentations that people can access anytime they find my account. I hashtag it. I wanted to it has SEO, and so I pay like $5 a month to host that and to share those. I present often enough that it makes sense. If you end up saying, I make a lot of slides, I do a lot of lectures, I want to do presentation videos that have like picture-in-picture or lots of graphics because I want it to be much like a conference presentation, or like Jonathan Singer, or Craig Bryan, or someone who's a professor who's a regular on the show. You want to be able to narrate your slides, and people want to see your face. They want to hear your voice. And while there are many video editing softwares, I am not great at them. And I don't expect most of our users to become good at things like iMovie. It's hard, and I messed with it several times. This was actually not hard, and within 45 minutes, I had a video that was halfway passable, narrating some slides that several of you saw. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull up the Minicam screen. I think I'm just going to maybe not like that. I'm going to share screen, and let's hope this doesn't go wrong. And I'm going to pull up a Minicam right here. So you can see. So for those of you who are interested in what Minicam looks like, I'm going to show you some of the really basic features. I am not great at this and don't know all the features. I know enough to do one good video narrating some slides. So some things that you want to do ahead of time. First of all, you want to start with going to your image box. Your image is going to let you, if you just have the free version like I have, it's going to give you this. If you see here with my cursor, you're going to have something called a picture-in-picture mode, and it's going to give you up to 2 screens. Now, if you see that these are locked, these are things that get unlocked if you pay for the subscriber version. You can use more screens and more features, but you can, using the free version with your phone or an iPad, you can narrate slides you already have, which I think is pretty great. So the first thing I want you to be aware of is that you're going to have 2 things. Now, you can opt to not, like I could get rid of this if I want it.
April, are we supposed to be seeing your screen right now?
Are you seeing it?
Nope. Are other folks seeing it? I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing you, but maybe it's my computer. I was seeing it earlier.
There we go. Maybe not. There we go.
Something's happening. There we go. Ooh, it's, whoa.
That's my email. Then you go, what?
Whoa.
Do we have it?
Oh, this is the last time I do ketamine before the show, I swear.
Do we have it?
Yeah, you're on it. Look at you. That's amazing. How freaking cool is that?
I actually practiced this earlier today, just in case that we were going to have tech problems. We figured we'd have a backup. So if you'll see here, I'm in the screen here. This is the screen that your camera sees. You're going to have 2 screens right over here. This is the free version. If you see these 4 little locked boxes, those are the 4 locked boxes that you can unlock, and you get more screens that you can transition between that you set up ahead of time. So
how much are those? How much we talking to add those screens there, April?
I like, it's not very much. I want to say it's like $30 or something. It's not expensive, I don't think. I didn't look at this and think, oh, this was really, really expensive. So if you really were like, this is a platform I want to use, a lot like my Prezi costs me about $60 a year, and I do a lot of slides on it and a lot of slide sharing, and then that's something that I pay for. This I might not, because I don't know that I am that good at video production. But if you really got into that, if this was like you're like Chris Maxwell and Dope Meme, I'm down with the kids. This is I don't even know what I'm saying. This is what you might do. So you're going to start with this image tab. If you see right here, if you click on that, and you're going to make some decisions. So what I was doing was I was hitting transition. So it would sort of fade to the next one, and I was picking picture-in-picture. You can also pick 2 pictures. So you can get, now look, I look like that guy, like, who's with my nose over the wall, right? If you're going to do that, you need to sit very far back and sort of narrate from way back here. I don't know all the time that you're going to want to have 2 pictures. I think that you're going to want to have 1. The second thing that I learned was that it was easiest just to, ahead of time, before I started filming, set myself in one position, and whether I was transitioning to this screen or I was transitioning to this screen, see how it's happening in the camera box?
Yeah.
Right here? Then that way I could sort of narrate, and I didn't have to worry about the shot. Because, and we'll talk about that, once you add something to this screen, if you do full screen share, which is what I think you're going to want to do, you won't be able to see your face. And this was a question I had, if there was a better way around this that Stacy might know. So you're going to want to sort of pick a place, and honestly, if you have a good vlogging camera, if you do a lot of video, it really is better to pick a place and stay there. If you're an amateur, that's way easier to film. So you're going to do image, and there's all sorts of little controls. You can flip it around, right, right, back and forth. You could do some stuff. Like if I felt like that was not a good side of my hair and I wanted to narrate it from over here, this is sort of more like a mirror image, and it might be easier for me to control. It's really up to you how you want. You can even go upside down. Look, check that out. It's pretty easy. And a lot of these controls, I think, are pretty self-explanatory. And you can mess with the color and all sorts of stuff. This is, once again, I am often using the simplest controls when, of pre-made sort of templates when I'm producing video. So the next thing, I'm going to transition back to sort of the regular screen that you're going to want to think about is audio. You're going to add microphones. Now, once again, if you are doing a lot of videoing where you have multiple microphones, you are already fancier than me. I was just using the built-in microphone on my computer, and so that is the one that I added. The first one. Yes, is she on?
She's on.
She's on.
Fantastic. Let's stop sharing because that is wacky. So the big mistake that I made, and then we'll come right to Stacy. The big mistake that I made was that I didn't turn my audio on, so I had to do 2 takes. So it took me an extra 7 or 8 minutes to create my video. That was still not bad. From turning on the app, looking at it, and not having a lot of instructions, and just trying to use it out of the box, I was able to make an okay video, and if I'd done it a 3rd time, I think I would have nailed it, narrating a short set of slides that I had produced. And since hopefully it's your content and you're expert in it, you can use an app like this. So once you've made the slides, to put just an extra 15 or 20 minutes and also get a video so that you can, prior to a conference or right after something was very popular, do your slide presentation, answer questions, and have a video, have a link to your slide deck in the video, be able to tweet or share both of those. That way people really can have what they want. And you will find, and before I go to Stacy, this is my last sell for this, that if you're really, intending to present with the goal of being invited to more conferences or being hired to do specialization consultation or to get to do collaborations or projects, people often want to take your work. They'll see it at the conference where you've sort of been juried, you've been selected in some way, and then they're going to take it back to their network. And you want to give them something where people can see what your presentation style is like. And with that in mind, I'm going to pull up Stacy. There is Stacy. How are you doing? There are a few delays. Hello?
Is she muted?
Is she muted?
I didn't mute her. She doesn't look muted.
Nope.
Nope.
Stacy, I think you're going to have to go off and come back on. The microphone's not working. I know. Sometimes we had it working earlier, like during the tech check, and then she went off and came back on, and you're going to have to do it again. I'll go ahead and I'll put Minicam on. Check with Tony, but you're going to have to go off and come back on, I think. Sorry. I'm so sorry. It's just how it's going to have to be, unfortunately. Okay, so, Bert, are we seeing the Minicam for me?
Beautifully.
Okay, so the next thing after you get that audio, make sure you get the audio, is that you're going to pick playlist. I was not sure what to do. I think that you can add videos. So if you wanted to, for example, do a presentation and narrate a video that you were going to show, I think that you can add it here. I am not sure about that. This is something that we're going to give you the chance to try making a Minicam, just try playing with it this week, and go ahead and tweet out and post on the SPSM page. But I think that you can add content to be shared, including, this is what's happening, this FaceTime camera is my camera for my laptop, and then you can add content. You can also add text, which I think is pretty fun. So, let's check this out. It's so easy, right? And we wanted to scroll right here. So I think that this starts at scrolling, maybe? I don't know. We're going to speed it up.
Right.
Is it scrolling? Is there any text?
No.
Uh-oh. I think
Is it the color?
I think it should be scrolling, but maybe not.
Do you have audio for me now?
Yes!
Yay!
It wasn't liking my lovely microphone. It wasn't liking my other camera. It wasn't liking the browser. It wasn't liking today.
This is why we prepare many layers of backups. So for those of you who are watching, everybody say hello to Stacy.
Hello.
Finally. This is a bit of a build-up, Stacy.
Yeah, no doubt.
So we were popping open Minicam, and I was showing them by doing some screen sharing, like that with the free version you can get a couple different screen options, and then I was just taking them through what the tabs were of content. Where would you like to jump in with that?
Well, why don't I screen share and I'll run through some presentation slides first, and then, provided I don't accidentally mute myself. And why do I have a lower third here? Do you guys see a lower third on me?
Yeah,
it's Jam Mama.
I know. I don't want the Jam Mama on. Turn that off.
We like it. Uh-oh.
It's gone.
No. That is the wrong lower third. Not the right one.
I think we'll go with it, Stacy. We'll be with it.
I'm not good at being sometimes.
Well,
I'm a doer. We're doing
all of our skills and our radical.
True. Okay, so now I need to screen share my other screen. I have somewhat divorced Google Hangouts. Not completely, but.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I really
was it messy? Was it a messy breakup, or are you guys on speaking terms? I mean, just look at that. Oh, that's beautiful.
It's a separation right now.
For you.
It's totally a separation because there's so many. Well, I think it's because I felt I had an affair with Blab. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. That's for the after show, though. There's apparently an after show over on Blab, and hopefully, if I don't do things quite right here, come over to the after show on Blab. Apparently, that might be better. But let me see if I can tell you guys a little bit about what I know about Minicam and how to use it. Right this second, I'll just use the slides so you can see them the way they are. So, a little bit about myself. I am a clinical social worker and a public health educator. I also am an adjunct instructor in those two fields. But most of all, I'm a geek girl. I enjoy creating things. What I want to tell you guys about is about getting acquainted with the Minicam software, which I found out about actually through Blab. Learn about the different versions available, explore ways to use it to record your own lectures from presentations, Prezzies, Amaze presentations, and Animotos, or whichever presentation software you use, and discuss the awesome features it has and some challenges, including the one that it doesn't really like Google Chrome so much, which is what made tonight so fun.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
right.
Google Chrome when I did mine, and it was fine. Like
It may be that the Mac version does not like it.
Right.
So my setup that you're going to see on my screenshots here are going to look a little different than what you might be able to do. My screenshots are going to have a picture of my cell phone on here. It's actually it's called Reflector. So it's another app that I have and another layer that I use when I'm doing tutorials that go with apps on the iPhone or the iPad. And so what you'll see on the full screen is not exactly what you guys are going to do, but this is what I used to create the screenshots. So that's for another day. So you guys already talked about, and I'm going to shoot through this part, you already talked about downloading Minicam, minicam.com. Yes, there's a great free version. April's already rock and rolled it earlier today, blew me out of the water. There's a version for Windows.
When I have my presentation, my face is behind the box, so don't go too crazy. Anyway.
You got to learn which. I'll show you that in a minute. Okay. I'll show you the secret because I already figured that out where you were pointing. Windows or Mac. There's a Windows version and Mac versions. I am a Mac girl. I have everything in my house is Mac, including a new Mac that I bought not necessarily to do this presentation, but
some of this. You got a new Mac boy.
I got a new Mac. And see, now I'm dancing around here and you guys can't see me yet because I'm not actually using Minicam, so you can't see me.
Yeah, Bart got a MacBook this week.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that. Right? I think
that's why he looks so precious.
Yeah, I think he and I'll have to discuss the website appear.in, and I can help with the Mac that way. But that's another app.
That's another app. But we're just gonna
another app.
Minicam can be used in Windows or Mac, and I don't think I covered that well.
Yeah. So Windows can be, or Minicam can be used on Windows or Mac. There's a free version on each. There are upgraded versions available for each operating system. There's the standard and the studio, and then enterprise for the Windows version. Ooh. I've seen people use the standard at $25 and it worked great, and the studio version is more similar to what I have on the Mac side. And for the Windows folks, it's $80. The Windows versions, or I'm sorry, the Mac versions, the one I have is the studio version. So you see that Windows, there are 3 different paid versions and the free version, and on Mac, I guess there are now 3 different versions. The Enterprise, unless you're working for an agency, you have a large team, and you're going to have your team do those things, don't even look at the Enterprise version. The studio version's great. My reason for the studio version, the things I like in the studio version, not necessarily my reason for it, is that I can turn the watermark off.
Yes.
I also can do a few more things with picture-in-picture.
Watermark?
The watermark is, okay, so when those of you who may have seen April's early take today, there's a watermark is like a, well, like watermarks on paper, but it's like a transparent logo from the software, and it's over in the corner, and so it's Minicam's transparent logo. And if you have the free version, the watermark's going to be on there and you can't remove that. Right. And if you have the paid version, you can remove that off of the recording. Frankly, when I first started using it, I used the free version. It worked great, and that really wasn't a problem. You can actually even cover it up with your lower third to an extent. The picture-in-picture is incredibly fun. I'll show you guys that in a little bit. But you have unlimited use of picture-in-picture, and there's some extra fun things there. Sorry that I don't have this on the big screen, so I'm actually having old woman eye problems at the moment to be able to read my own slides. So scheduling. Yeah, scheduling and some other things are kind of some of the other reasons I enjoy that. They have great information and support. The Windows people have a new feature called custom watermarks, so I don't know anything about that, but that was off of their blog. Mm-hmm. And so you guys may have some options. It looks like for like making colored watermarks instead of just a lower third, but you can put some fun custom watermarks on it. There's also extra fun downloads, so you can see this afro hair one. So you could like, it makes it look like you've got, well, Bart's he's already got like kind of a cool hairdo going on. He might not need the afro hair.
But like, there's like a muscle body. Oh, there's all sorts of stuff. There was all sorts of effects. Like, it's like quite a lot, and many of them were free, right?
There are tons of them that are free. There's some that say like, "I'll be right back." So I'll show you how you can flip between screens.
Like and you can have because you drink a lot of coffee.
Exactly, or you've got you know, you forgot you were on video and you need to go change clothes real quick. You know, you can flip something over so that you have something holding your screen. There's a green screen option in the filters and effects. I have not had very good luck with it specifically. However, I've just rearranged my office and my green screen behind me. Between those two, I think I might be able to do some fun things with. But there is a green screen. I've seen people do cool stuff with it. what I like
I'd
about
like
the
to
fun
point out, Tony
downloads.
has a green screen and he's moving. Tony, if you will send me your green screen, we will have an SPSM on green screens.
You know, April, the one I got, the pop-up one I have,
Mm-hmm.
was maybe $30, and it has green on one side and blue on the other. Although I'm kind of digging your curtains.
This just works because of a lot of reasons, but I can also put a green screen behind me that would be not hard at all.
Uh-huh.
Things could be done.
Amazon has some great green screens, like and basically it's one big green sheet, like a bed sheet.
Yeah.
And really you can use, if you have a decent, it doesn't have to be, you know, Egyptian thread count, but if you have a decent thread count sheet that is that you can stretch behind you, that's a solid color, it really doesn't have to be green. The idea of green screen is because green happens to be one of the colors that you can remove in video production better, from what I read.
And there are apps and special features that will allow you to do that. So if you want to do some stuff behind you, like I think if you wanted your slides behind you, that would be one way you could make that happen.
You totally could make it happen that way with the green screen.
More production skills than Foreman has today, but it could be fun.
I'll give you a week. I think in a week you're going to be kicking. My presentation here is going to look like nothing here in a week.
A lot of radical acceptance and some occasional vanilla rum.
Yeah, just stay away from the NyQuil.
Oh, let's not eat. Oh, there were a couple of things that happened that were so bad. I did not even post
NyQuil, girlfriend.
But anyway, yeah. Let's just say body parts. I can't even. It was so bad. Anyway, keep going.
So they have a great YouTube channel. I have looked at a couple of their videos, but frankly not very many. Everything you're going to see from me and the presentations you see of my practice, or the ones I've done, are off the cuff. And the two that I have available for you guys to see were one takes, no changes. And there's some hilarious problems in that.
You were very new, right? Like if you're just goofing with this and you want 10, 30, 45 minutes, I would give up perfection for a 45-minute product and feel satisfied just to try it. Is my big. You know, you're not going to be Katie Kirk or Matt Lauer. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. Well, and one of my online friends on Blab, plus he makes chocolate. He's a chocolatier in Australia. Follow on Twitter, follow Chocolate, Twitter, Snapchat, and he's everywhere. Follow Chocolate Johnny. He's in Adelaide, Australia? No, he's in Sydney, Australia. And I have some of his homemade caramel from his place. This man is amazing when it comes to, but what he says about video like that is just hit record. Just do it. So follow Chocolate Johnny. Watch what he does when he just hits record. And yeah, just do it.
Please Bart meme, just hit record Chocolate Johnny.
Just hit record Chocolate Johnny.
Hit record Chocolate Johnny.
Yeah.
I'm on it. All right.
Okay, let's get into some meat and potatoes here now that we've talked about chocolate. So in the video, okay, you I told you this screen's going to look different for you guys. So forget about the telephone you see on the side. But in the video tab, the main tab on the Mac version, and this is again the paid version, I have 6, actually I have 12 because there's an arrow down here, 12 different presets that I can use. Then there's the effects tab, which is the second tab over at the top. There are different categories of effects that you can download that we talked a little bit about. Then there's the gallery tab, which is the gallery of your recordings and or snapshots. And some of those in mine actually are recordings where I did try to play with the green screen. And I saved them because they were funny. Your recordings also save.
Tell them about that it can take still pictures and record video, that there's like that button is both camera or video camera, and you can toggle back and forth. I forgot to say that.
That's because I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh.
I'm just over the big
I've been
stuff.
talking about it, and I've been like, let me go through the features. So anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So, So we've also got, there are connections to social media. These are brand new. These were not there
Those
when
are
I
so
started.
good. Those are
Well,
so easy.
yeah, not so much on the Mac when it doesn't like Chrome.
I was in Chrome on a Mac, and I just clicked the Facebook and the YouTube. And so when I pulled up Facebook or YouTube, like I think I pulled those open on Safari. Now that I think about it, I had Minicam on Google Chrome. I had it on, and then when I finished the video, I just grabbed it from the Minicam window and dropped it in the YouTube and dropped it in the Facebook windows, and it just processed and populated. It was like that. It's like super.
Okay.
It was like really easy.
Those are the pieces I haven't done yet because I uploaded my videos afterwards through YouTube, and it literally took all night for a 13-minute video. Hence the new iMac in front of me.
I had them loaded onto both Facebook and YouTube. Just beep, beep, boom. It was like, and they processed, and I, did the it processed, and then I filled out the couple things on the YouTube and hit, the publish button or whatever, and it was easy.
So, like I say, those being there is brand new. Those weren't on there before, and so I've not actually used them. So I will admit I have not done.
I think. And your mileage may vary. So if you find that a browser doesn't work, I'm sorry if I do anything bad to you.
Well, and see, I told you, you already, she zipped right past me all the way to the, hey, we're just going to upload it, and it works. I wish you could see my face right now, but I kind of am glad you don't. So on the Images tab, this is where the fun part starts. You've got different resolution options. Really, in my opinion, the presets are usually just fine.
I
Although,
noticed those.
Yep. You can click that. You can click the down arrow on that, and then there's also a custom one, so you can add your own. I don't even really mess with it. The picture-in-picture options, there are quite a few. On the Mac version, the paid Mac version, you can do just one picture-in-picture, two pictures-in-pictures, a side-by-side, an up and down, or what I will call the blab window, which is 4 different, or Brady Bunch window of 4 people. If you've ever been in a blab, that looks exactly like one, where there are 4 different videos, and they're exactly, in the 4 quadrants of the screen. Now, what's fun with the picture-in-picture, you see on my on this screenshot that I have a picture of me up in the left corner, and then I have a picture the picture that's in green of the Minicam screen in another picture window. And then I have a graphic underneath it, a lower third underneath that. So there's actually 4 layers in that Minicam output window that you're seeing. What I used was the picture-in-picture that has the 2 pictures. You can resize those 2 little pictures, and you can also move them around. So they don't have to stay where they're at.
Really? I did not figure that out.
Now, one hint, if you're creating a presentation and you're wanting to do that you're wanting to record it on Minicam, just take and put yourself a square where you're going to have your little video of you or any other picture-in-picture, put a square on each slide so that when you pull that up full screen and then you put your picture-in-picture in that, you're not covering up your content. So when you're preparing the presentation, make sure you have a space saved for your face, unless you want to cover up your content. I don't think you would want to do that.
And I'm just going to say, my big advice is, just hit record and play with it, and, it's probably, instead of trying to get number 1 perfect, by number 4, you're probably going to have it. So just...
Oh, you're, totally going to have it.
Goof with it.
You can flip and rotate your screen, so you can flip it right or left, or you can flip yourself totally upside down, and you could present where your video's upside down. Bart, you might like that. I don't know why I'm saying this. I just met you today, I think. I mean, face to face.
I'm vertiginous. Vertiginous. I'm very vertiginous.
What does that mean? I haven't been vertiginous since you were 13.
Vertiginous. Vertiginosity?
That's a new one on me.
Anyway,
upside down. I guess that's vertiginous. I don't know. You can also mirror yourself.
Yeah. Ooh,
April?
that would.
You did well on the SATs.
So what you did earlier, April, with yours where you were trying to point and you weren't sure which way to point,
Yes.
play with the flip and rotate where you flip yourself and do a mirror one right or left. Because then your right is actually where you're pointing right and your left is where you're pointing left.
Yeah, that was actually, now that I think about it, the hardest part about lining up the shot was that it was like backward, and if I had made it like a mirror shot, I would have been lined up and known just where everything was. And that's actually a really good idea. But
let me give the caveat to that is on some outputs, like if you're using Minicam and you're going into a blab, or if you're using Minicam and going into another live video platform, it's possible that it's going to flip you again and you're still messed up. So you flip it so that the output goes flipped, and then when it goes into the blab or the other type of video,
I think the lesson is be prepared to go both ways.
I'd say as long as you're ambidextrous and you're ready to go both ways, or whichever way you need to go, you're flexible. Flexible and ambidextrous, I think. Ooh.
I just don't commit to
yoga pose? Is that one a yoga pose?
Well, yeah, if you do stuff with the bottom of you, yeah.
Oh,
I can contort, but we need to move on.
Yeah, we do. So you could have various color options, but I would say don't touch those unless you're a color expert, as far as like, oh my gosh, my face looks so green, or oh, I look too ruddy, or whatever that is, or great. Now, if you want to do a black and white video of yourself, I think hitting grayscale might be kind of fun. It'd be fun to play with, but be careful. Make sure you can like somehow get it back to whatever the main setting is. So there are audio settings that you were talking about, playlists, microphone settings. You can add multiple microphones. So this is the second tab over on the bottom. There's image and then audio. And what just now when you
on the microphone, I can't say that enough.
I'm sorry?
Have to install a microphone. Like it does not just automatically do that for you. Things I learned.
Yep, you have to install your microphone. It doesn't like it otherwise. And if you have a sometimes if you have other microphones built in, or like so you can see I have a USB audio codec, so that's my big microphone that I really like.
Yeah.
Tonight Google didn't want to use it, but my Minicam liked it because that's the only one I have installed there.
Some of you can hear me. This is from Tony. So I do have a secondary microphone, and I have a microphone from here, and so you have to like you may need to install the second microphone.
And you may also need to know which microphone's installed and which one are you using at the time.
Right.
Because you could be talking into one and, well, it's not installed there or it's not set there right then. Yeah. So be prepared to speak everywhere and loud or something.
Right, yes.
And you're good. You can add playlists. You can add movies. You can add music. I have not played with these a lot, but I do like the idea of adding movies. What I would possibly do if I was going to like show a YouTube video or something in the middle is maybe just show it and share that screen in one of my.
There may be, this is what another thing I learned was there's probably more than one way to skin a cat. Like if you had some content to present that probably you could video yourself doing graphics, video, audio, whatever, in multiple ways on this platform. You just like find something that sort of works and then just hit record, Chocolate Johnny.
Yep. Oh, Johnny's gonna love that he got like stuff here. Text annotations. Okay, so the text annotations is actually what I use as my lower third.
Okay.
So because the lower thirds that are available at least in the Mac version of Minicam, are extremely limited, don't cover what I want, aren't as pretty as what I want.
like when you switch screens, like they don't just stay in one screen or the other screen. So the lower thirds were really big. They covered up my other picture. I had to turn them off and on. It was
you can adjust them, though. You can adjust them, and you can move them around. You can have an upper third instead of a lower third. So you grab the entire. Now, so what I use the text annotations. I turn the text annotations on with the left. Over at the left, it says on or off. I switch whichever font I want, whatever font color I want, and then the background of that I want. And you can have it scroll or not scroll. I don't have them scroll because that's like usually annoying to folks, even though it's kind of cool. I mean, and there might be things that you might want to use a scroll on. I mean, instead of a lower third, who knows?
Like,
so that's why I use those. You can use the drawing option as a whiteboard or as live annotations. So you could like draw mustaches on somebody's face, or
I don't know why anybody would want to do that. I don't know why anybody would want a mustache. Keep going. I apologize. It's too fun. Did we lose Stacy?
What happened? Stacy!
I don't know what happened. So we may have frozen. We may have lost Stacy.
We may have. Can we get Chocolate Johnny? Is it too late to get Chocolate Johnny?
Is it too late to get? So a lot of the things that you've seen us play with when it comes to Google Hangouts, which are a little bit not as many options, it's sort of the same idea. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull up Minicam. I'm going to take over where she left off, and we'll do a little screen share.
Can I ask you a question? Can I?
Yes.
April, can I? Help me with this. Wait, I want to get my hair right for this.
Bart, it would be easier for you to use Minicam than to get your hair and lighting right before the show.
It would, ouch. Is it Manny or many?
I like those are the same word?
No, Manny is like a guy that lives in Brooklyn that is like hanging out on the corner. That's Manny, right? Manny. Many is like myriad, like multiples,
it's Minicam.
Many,
no, but not many.
Many is something. Many is, I don't know what that. What is many? Tony is saying it's it's Manny. No, many. Many.
She says not many. It's many. M-A-N-Y. But it's many.
No,
many.
Thank you for bearing with me. That was helpful.
She's back. But she's on mute.
You've got her muted. Or is she muting herself?
I don't mute anybody anymore. I don't eject and I don't mute.
You did kick some people off at one point.
But I am a learner, so I did that once.
Actually, I shouldn't be muted. I'm.
You're back.
Yay!
Yeah, I'm back.
I don't know why the mute sign keeps coming up when you speak, but we're not going to ask any questions. Go ahead.
It's Hangouts.
Did you guys? Yeah.
So
you see why I'm separated from them?
What? Oh yes. So timestamps.
I'm on Google Docs, but I'm separated. Okay.
Okay.
So April froze up a second ago.
It's Hangouts. Hangouts is being cranky tonight. Yeah, Hangouts is just...
There are times where any live or program on.
Would you do me a favor and give a shout out to Dr. Bill Schmitz? He is really loving this. He's going to be making a video tomorrow.
I don't believe that, April. I don't. I actually think that you just lied to our guest and to the entire SPSM audience, actually.
We won't know it's a lie until tomorrow night.
Well, maybe it's a challenge. Maybe she's just putting forth the challenge that he should be doing this.
Andy Brown wants to know how we go live. I think that Minicam can do live streaming, right?
What I usually do, I use it for during live streaming, not during Google Hangouts.
Okay.
At least not on Chrome.
It can be used as a live stream. We use Google Hangouts because of the way that it integrates with some of our other platforms, but Minicam can be used for live streaming, Andy. How do you install a microphone? Bill used to be a roadie. The fact that he doesn't know that troubles me intensely.
Is that true that he used to be a roadie? For who?
For people. I don't know. He used to have long hair, and he used to, like a full head of long hair, and he was a roadie, and I'm not even making this shit up. Anyway, go ahead, Stacy.
So he'd probably really like the microphone I have. Yeah. I need his help with this mixer board I have that has 2 inputs. 2 inputs. I can't run it.
That's why you got to go both ways.
I can't even do the 2 ways. Maybe it's limiting. Maybe it's too limiting for me. I think I can
demonstrate. But anyway, go ahead.
So when you're ready to share, you can do a snapshot or a video, or you can switch back and forth. Oh, I'm so glad this is you guys.
We are too. This is the best.
I love you, Bill Schmidt. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
So you can also pause. So you push the button right under your Minicam picture to go live.
Midstream?
That's pause midstream. You can stop right in the middle. Let's say you get the giggle fits because.
Stop it, April.
Keep going. Keep going. I've had enough coffee. Keep going. Sorry.
I think I really wanted to switch to the Minicam instead of showing you guys this presentation. I think I just want to show it to you live instead, because then I can pause midstream.
Can you, if people, we're getting into that last sort of 7 or 8 minutes. Can you tell people a little bit more about if they want? I really think, I really believe that you can learn to do this. Like, I'm not that great at learning the new things without a lot of anxiety. Tony is far away in Las Vegas and busy. I learned it without Tony here. And Stacy was at a robot competition, and I messed with it independently just sort of to be prepared for tonight. I really think that you can do this. I want to really just encourage people to try something. Go whatever way you need to go. Zig it, zag it, pause in the stream. I'm fine with that. Stacy, how can people get a hold of you if they need tips or tricks this week?
How about I'll just head to the end of the presentation of my last slides. Actually, I'm going to record this formally so that you can. I'll go to this one. So I'm going to record this formally. Oh, I might help if I shared the right screen, huh? So that you can find. Have a formal version of this presentation to go back and watch. I will do a formal one and
that's nice.
Put that on YouTube or on Vimeo. I'm not sure. There's a one you can get me at stacybraiuca.com, or the easier way to find that website is gocreatewithstacy.com.
Time limited password with SPSM in it. So cool.
Oh, cool.
So there's a free graphics guide at gocreatewithstacy.com that everyone can get that are 4 different apps. And just as a side note, Minicam is not necessarily an app. It's a more of a program, but it and you can't use it yet that I know of on iPhone, iPad, or Android devices. So right now this is recording something on your laptop to put out into the world. But if you want to get a free graphics guide to use 4 apps that you can create really fun, your own fun branded graphics or memes, your own fun SPSM memes, you can, there are 4 different apps. 3 of them work on Android and iPhone. One of them works on, additional one that works on iPhone. I think just spending 99 cents, you can get all 4 of these apps and do some really fun stuff. You can get the guide at createwithstacy.com. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, BlabIM, Snapchat, and Pinterest at Stacy Braiuca. You can also find me you can do a video call with me at appear.in with Stacy. So that's
Which
another one.
that was
time.
And let me point out, I got Stacy's guide today. We were connected on Twitter, and the guide is fantastic. I highly recommend it. We tweeted that out, and if you just go to the website, you can get the guide is really helpful.
And as part of the guide, I'm producing 4 videos that go with that guide that tell how to use those specific apps. In fact, the screenshots you saw were from this first run, my test run of the first tutorial, which is how to use the word salad app. And actually, on the PSM chat site, we need to switch the password and change the password to this, because the password is GCWS, as in Go Create with Stacy _SPSM1, because I changed the password to a special password just for you guys, so that you can access and watch that video.
Okay, we will
that
update
was the first video I ever did using Reflector, Minicam, and putting a presentation on Vimeo.
Fantastic.
So it was like all debut.
Stacy, we're going to get to final thoughts, and I hope you'll tweet out the passwords for the SPSMers. Can you bring yourself on camera to give us a final thought about why it's important to do these kinds of projects and to play with this kind of stuff?
Oh, yeah. Let me find my camera. Oh, I don't need to.
Oh, you're there. We got you. You're on.
Why it's important to play with this kind of stuff is, I think, well, I'll come from a social work educator's perspective. I teach policy students. Policy students need to know how to advocate. In order to advocate, sometimes you need to create short 2 to 3 minute presentations to then tweet out or send out to people about what you're talking about. And so I teach them how to use different pieces of technology, including Google Hangouts initially when we first got together. You know, like I said, we're kind of on rocky ground right now. But you need to be able to spread your content out. Like even just little 2 to 3 presentations that someone gives and sends to their representative could make all the difference in advocating for a policy change. But also,
many of us are creating memes and slides and graphics about policy change. Like a lot of SPSMers have gotten good about creating visual content, and so narrating very briefly content that you've already created. So it's just a way of getting an extra piece of social media out of something you've already done. Yeah, and doing it once and having it used more than once. This presentation is, well, the presentations you have access to is a good example. You know, I wrote and presented those 2 presentations that you guys will have access to in 24 hours after I talked to April. I wrote them, produced them, and hit record Chocolate Johnny within 24. Actually, it was probably within 6 hours of speaking. This is my new the solution to pollution is dilution, says Ducky, and hit record, says Chocolate Johnny, are my new social media anthems. Bart, we're going to make sure we got it absolutely and on time. Because we have SPSM after or unpack the after hours. So Bart, final thoughts.
Final thoughts is that this looks amazing. I mean, it's a great tool. It's a great tool.
It goes both ways.
And I'm going to try it. I'm totally going to try it because I would love to be able to pull in some of the presentations I do and have them recorded to get it on my YouTube channel, and then I can tweet that shit. That's what I'm saying.
Now, and you could pause midstream if you needed to.
So we're wrapping up the last hour. So
I just had to throw it back in.
head over to Blab. The Chris Maxwell and Amelia have been planning a really good after show. It's going to be hashtag SPSM Unpacked. You'll be talking about tonight's thing, like how do you handle technical errors and still create good content and still make sure that your topic comes out on time, like the sort of what are the ways, the skills and preparations you need to do that, which is a great thing to talk about. Definitely go do a mini cam and post it on the SPSM page. Send it to us on Facebook. Everybody, you've managed to do another hour with us. Stay for an hour or two if you want to. I think Stacy's going to jet right over there, right, Stace?
I am. I'm thinking everybody should get minicam and then jump in the Blab seat with their minicam lower third on.
Ooh,
that's what I'm.
Sweet.
We're going to see you all there. Have a great week.
Yep.
Can't wait to see what you guys create. Talk with you later.
Thank you, guys. Have a good evening.
Bye.